So, with that, I'd like to welcome everyone. This is Recovery Dharma in the Spokane Sangha. For the month of March, we have been exploring um, the eight worldly winds, and it has been a wonderful month-long practice. I have thoroughly enjoyed the perspectives that I have shared that have been alive in me, and the way that it's resonated with you, and the wisdom that stirs up from your own good hearts and minds. The way you've been able to take in the nature of duality, pairs of opposites that, when combined, define the whole of who we are. And one of the reasons why we explore opposites is so that we can see in our own habit energy the propensity that we all have as human beings to go in either one direction or the other. Either this is right or this is wrong. This is either good or it's bad. And Buddhist principles teach us that while that could be true, the truth of reality is often some nuanced, complicated combination of both. And if we can live in that bothness, we will find ourselves feeling a little more liberated from suffering, from the mind that is just clamped down on being right or completely fearful and resistant to being wrong. So that's what we've been exploring this month. It's been amazing. And yesterday, we had this wonderful meditation on bringing forward a memory, a situation where we were working with right and wrong. One of the things that I like to think about and to contemplate are the experiences in my life that have been just terrible, awful, stressful, scary, upending, super disappointing. And then over time, those situations begin to reveal aspects that I hadn't thought about before. And so what was once a terrible, awful thing, over time became this really informative, revealing, somewhat wonderful thing. Yesterday, I shared with you all about my daughter, who is a cancer survivor. And let me tell you, having a kid with cancer is a terrible, horrible thing. And had she died, I think it would still feel that way. But she didn't. She survived. And she's 21, and she's sassy, and she's smart, and she's inspiring. And so what was this awful, horrible thing for a very long period of time slowly became this opportunity for me to really practice, for me to keep engaging with these practices, to keep looking deeper and deeper and deeper. I'm bringing this forward because we're going to continue with this practice today. But today I'd like to introduce another element to this practice, and that is the element of time. We are all in such a rush. Got to get it figured out. Got to get it mapped out. Got to be somewhere other than I am. I need to be farther along. I need to be more awake. I need to be more settled. I need to be other than what I am. And that is a really uncomfortable place to be. So I'll share with you a little perspective. After my daughter finished her treatment, it was almost 3 years of daily chemotherapy, in and out of hospitals, 21 different spinal taps, surgeries, sedations, lots and lots and lots of stuff. And then one day we were done. You're done. Good luck. You know? If she gets a fever, no more run into the ER. Just, watch it. See what happens. Excuse me? What? After all of that emergency-oriented energy, now I'm just supposed to be normal, like normal kid, normal cold? Nothing is normal. So every sniffle, every little fever, every little everything was like, oh God, is it coming back? Oh no. Had to breathe through that. Of course I did. Of course. But that went on for a long time. And then one day, I had this moment and I was like, oh, I didn't think about cancer today. Did I think about cancer yesterday? I can't remember. I can't remember the last time I thought about cancer and worried about my daughter. Wow. And friends, that was 7 years. 7 years. Now, I'm sharing that with you not to drop a daunting seed in here. It's more of an invitation to go slowly, to maybe be curious about your own habit energy around being in a hurry, about because you're so uncomfortable now and putting down all this story that says I need to push myself harder to get to where I want to be. And maybe take a moment to pause and go ask yourself, do I? What's the rush? Is the rush because I just don't want to look at where I am? And if that's true, please be very gentle, because where we are, if we're in a rush to get other than where we are, it's probably because where we are doesn't feel good. We're uncomfortable. And so then it's about, okay, how do I lean back, if I need to lean back, to create some space so that I can be with this? And when I breathe in a little bit of distance, can I also lean in and look fearlessly? So this is the play today. We're going to lean back and create space, and we're also going to be brave and lean in and dare to look deeply. All right? So that's our practice today. And what I'd like to do is invite us to take an active posture. And the active posture I want you to take, I encourage you to take, often in meditations with me, I encourage maybe some rest. Today I'd like you to be active and bright. And how you engage that is, if you can, if it's available to you, if you're sitting in a chair, sit so that your back is not leaning back. Like literally sit forward a little bit as you can see me, okay? See if you can sit forward just for this introductory part, because I want you to drop into your body and sit on the edge of your seat. Traditionalists would have you have your feet really flat, knees at a 90-degree angle. That's not comfortable for my body. So I'm sitting on an office chair that has the little arms at the bottom, and I like my feet balanced on those. So my knees are a little bit more bent. Notice where your hands want to be. And I encourage you to put your hands, rather than palms down on your thighs or palms facing up on your thighs, bring your hands in a posture where they're either interlaced like this, or you're in a posture, a very typical mudra. This is a harmonizing mudra where the left hand is down, palm facing up, right hand in your left hand with your thumbs touching. I'm kind of demonstrating that if you want to see. And then you place your hands in that mudra, that hand position at the base of your navel, and see if you can tap the tips of your thumbs right below your navel. And that'll let you know that you've got your hands in the right position. The elbows, pay attention to the bend in your elbows. And notice if your elbows are winged out or if they're kind of tucked in toward the sides of your body. The invitation here is to tuck your elbows a little bit. Roll your shoulders forward, up to your ears, back. And notice when you roll your shoulders back, there's a little bit of an arch in your back, and your heart is coming forward and a little bit up. And without moving your heart, keeping your heart forward, see if you can move your hips and your belly so that you have less of an arch. You don't want to exaggerate your arch. So I'm going to exaggerate this for you and show you. So if my shoulders are back like this, I have a real arch in my lower back, and I'm going to keep my shoulders back. They'll naturally roll forward, but my back and spine are straight. But my heart is forward. Lower your gaze. Close your eyes. Notice where your tongue is resting in your mouth. For this meditation, see if you can rest your tongue behind your front teeth on top of your palate. Keep your mouth closed unless you are a mouth breather, and just breathe through your nostrils if that's possible. What we're going to do here today is use the body as an anchor. Bright, sharp, solid, steady body. The posture that we have created is a noble posture. Everything in balance, head to toe. As you're inhaling, allow the belly to expand, and upon the exhalation, allow the belly to contract. So the belly muscles allow you to sort of push and expel the air through your nostrils. And when you go to inhale again, just pause a moment before you inhale and feel your stomach muscles, feel those core muscles a little bit engaged. You don't have to clamp it down or anything like that. Just slightly tightened and engaged. And then on the inhalation, feel those muscles relax. Feel that contraction ease at the level of the belly. See if you can isolate that experience. Fill the belly on the inhalation. Pause a moment and feel that fullness. And then when you're ready, allow the air, allow the breath to be exhaled. A noble posture coupled with this kind of breathing eventually you can allow your body to just take a natural rhythm of breath. But for the first, say, 10 breaths, count. One inhalation and one exhalation is 1. One inhalation, one exhalation, 2. Count up to 10 if you can. And then allow your body to have its natural breathing rhythm. The purpose of putting the body in a noble posture and then creating the framework and the support of the breath is a way of cultivating space in the body and in the mind. We cannot examine duality, the way pairs of opposites exist in our experiences, if we don't create space to look, to explore, and to examine. So if we're in a clamped down space, I know I'm right, or, ooh, I don't want to admit I'm wrong, so I'm going to create all these little stories and little white lies to protect myself. All of that is such a normal thing to do. But for this practice, we're suspending that habit energy. And we're looking at all the ways we get kind of a rush out of being right and all the ways we fear being wrong. And we're creating space for both to exist in us. We see it easily in other people. It's much harder to turn that mirror around and look within. And that's what we're endeavoring to do today, but we can't do it in the absence of feeling open and spacious, curious and solid. As we enter into a period of silence for this reflection, I invite you to allow in this spaciousness whatever pair of opposites is alive for you. Maybe you've had a recent experience where praise and blame has come to visit. Or maybe you're working with physical pain and you're really trying to alleviate that. Maybe you're not necessarily going for pleasure, you just want to alleviate the pain. Maybe you're working with gain and loss, success, failure, confidence, insecurity, whatever the pairing is, allow it. Create some space. If you need to lean back for a moment, do. And then sit up, lean in. All the while finding that middle way, that noble posture right in the middle that has allowed your body to create space and courage. And should your mind wander into some other distraction, take a moment to smile when you come into that awareness. And then take a breath, a cycle of inhalation and exhalation, and begin again. Above all, enjoy this practice. Friends, as we take a step toward the conclusion of our practice today, I invite you to bring your attention back fully to the body. Notice your hands and how they're resting. Notice if your shoulders have rolled forward a little bit more. Mine have. I sort of lost their posture a little bit, so I could feel my shoulders coming forward, my back a little bit hunched, my hips have sort of slunk back a little bit, all the result of relaxation. Notice the disposition of the mind. If it feels a little bit sluggish or maybe a little bit more open and bright. And then maybe we can end our practice today on a celebratory note. A reminder that we have prioritized time today to reflect, to think and consider, and maybe begin a process of gentle discernment. And the whole cultivation of discernment is about accessing insight and wisdom that is inherent in each of us. And by creating this time and this space to allow that inner wisdom a voice, even if it's a barely detectable voice, it is there. And we're creating the conditions for its emergence. What an extraordinary thing to do for ourselves, to do in community for one another, and to do, by extension, outward to your families and friends, to co-workers and communities. So very necessary to strengthen and counter the chaos we see. Thank you for your practice, friends. And let's go ahead and end our practice with a dedication of merit. Taking a moment to return to the breath as an anchor, as a place of pause within the swirl of life. The swirl of life that includes the chaos and the calm, the light and the dark, the night and the day, the sun and the rain. All the while I stay centered, grounded, open to examine all of the conditions affecting my own life. It's amazing how few people have access to this. And all you have to do is look around and notice. And so we are endeavoring to take on these practices and principles not only for our own well-being, but to truly become a living, breathing instrument of peace. Your presence is a source of healing. It radiates conditions of calm. Your wise speech is a source of healing. Its tone and rhythm creates an environment of comfort. Your touch is a source of healing. It creates the conditions for ease and confidence. I could go on and on and on. The goodness of you, truly the magnificence of you. May you have the courage to allow its brilliance to shine bright, to illuminate the dark, haunted corners of the lives of others. May they all come out of those bleak, barren places into the brightness of this beautiful life, thanks to you. May they feel at ease, liberated, and free. Namaste, friends.